All right, YouTubes. We're going to do some maintenance on the Lowrider S, the 2020 FXLRS. We got compensator, we got clutch plates, we got wheel bearings, spark plug wires, brake rotors, all kinds of goodies to get into here. Front tire needs to be replaced. You'll see here, I rode it past the wear bar, and we're going to get into this. All right, to get the gas tank off, I'll just grab a towel and I'll bundle it up and I'll put it to the rear of the gas tank. Take the rear bolt out and bundle up a towel under there. All right, go ahead and get your towel. With the rear bolt removed from the gas tank and the front bolt loosened, pivot your gas tank up and put your towel in. And what you're going to want to do next is to disconnect your electrical connection for your fuel pump. And then we're going to, with the fuel pump disconnected, we're going to start the bike 3 times, and that's going to get the pressure off the gas tank. And then we can remove our gas cock from our gas tank to remove the gas tank. So just go ahead and start it 3 times. That'll pump it out. Now we can take our gas connector off our gas tank and remove the gas tank. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. You have to remove the center console. So it's 3 Allen bolts on the front, and then disconnect the connectors to your gauges. There's 2 connectors. And then you can remove the center console off the gas tank, and then the gas tank's ready to be removed. Okay, here's a look at the bike with the gas tank removed, and it makes it easy to get to the spark plugs, especially the 2 on the exhaust side. Spark plug wires here, we're going to replace those today. And it's just a look. You can see how much dirt gets under there and stuff. And that's what it looks like with the gas tank removed. All right, for the front wheel, it's a 3/4 inch Allen. And there's also a pinch bolt in the back that you got to loosen up first. Right here, you got to loosen up that pinch bolt, and then you can take the axle out of the front. Get it loosened up enough, it'll pull right out. There's no banging on it. The other side threads right into the forks, into the front fork. So give it a good inspection. You're going to apply anti-seize to this when you put it back in. And that's our front axle, and then we'll get the front wheel off. Okay, to take the rear axle out, you take off the C-clip. Then we're going to take this bolt off. It's a 36 millimeter socket. I get that on there with the breaker bar. I'll get that loose. And then the trick is to get the rear tire jacked up right to where you can pull the rear axle out without beating on it. You don't want to pound on it. All right, here's my rear wheel. I am running a chain drive on this bike. These bolts are going to come out. I'm going to heat these bolts up to take them out, and then we're going to run a tap into the threads on the hub to clean them out. We're going to do the same on this side. We're going to get these wheel bearings out also. All right, I'm going to heat them up with my plumber's torch. You know, I wrench for a living as an HVAC mechanic, so we heat up a lot of pumps and stuff to get things loose. So if you're not comfortable doing this, don't do this, but just get them up heated enough to get the Loctite to break loose. And just take your time, get them nice and warm. You don't want to kill stuff, but just get it heated up so that you can break them free to get them out of there. Then after they're heated up, just get your breaker bar on there and they'll come loose. Watch this. A little bit of effort, and with the heat, they'll come right out of there. After I have them all out, I'll get a tap and I'll re-tap all these threads, clean them up, clean them out real good. And I'll just run a tap through all the threads, and I'm going to put new bolts in on the sprocket on that also. And I had to take the sprocket out to get the rear bearing off on this. So just taking my time and doing it right. All right, here's a look at the new S&S Compensator. It's made out of 1-piece machine metal. It's really nice. We'll take a look at the old stuff and compare it. and we'll take a look at it, but I'm stoked on this compensator. Yeah, I'm breathing heavy. That freaking bolt, even with the special tool, was on there so gnarly. I had to heat the crap out of it, get the pipe wrench on the breaker bar just to get it loose. Woo, baby, it took all my H.V.A.C skills. Clutch basket looks totally good. All the way around. Okay, I got that new S&S compensator in there. You can't really see the logo. So I did the whole sprocket, all the guts, the springs, chain tensioner. We'll do a little autopsy. Stock motor, 50,000 miles. The stock compensator's fine. I mean, even the wear on the back. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple shiny spots, but at 50,000 miles, that's marginal. Got these torqued, 21 foot-pounds. And we're gonna do the clutch plates next, just for the hell of it. All right, so the book says I'm looking for 3.62 millimeters on your clutch. It's at 50,000 miles, I'm at 3.79. So I still had clutch life left at 50,000 miles. Once they get less than 3.62, they want you to change it. So I'm doing mine right now. And, but it was still good. So you guys don't have to overthink the maintenance on these bikes, man. That Milwaukee 8's good stuff if you leave it stock. Okay, out of all that in the primary area, the only thing showing some wear is the primary chain tensioner. But it's not like egregious, but it is grooving. All right, quick little video on some Harley-Davidson maintenance. I have a 2020 Lowrider S 114, 50,000 miles on it. And everyone talks about the stock compensators. If your motor's stock, I think the stock compensator is fine. Now, this is a look at a brand new stock compensator. You can see it's cast, and then it's kind of combined with the machine metal. I put an S&S in mine just because everyone's all, oh, these things are the weak link. And you can see what it looks like brand new. Well, I changed out my whole compensator, the whole guts, everything. See all that red Loctite that's on there? Thrush washers. The sprocket. So there's the, we'll take a look at the front of the sprocket. Then the back. You can see some shiny parts. Not super worn or egregious, but you can see some wear on there. Especially like right here. That's at 50,000 miles. And here is that stock compensator with 50 on it. And you can see the two dissimilar metals, like the brand new one right there. So let's take a good look at it. And it's got the shiny parts. You can see where it wears down in the valleys in there. Nothing's cracked or broken, and that's with 50 on it. So I would say if you're running a stock motor with that stock compensator, you're probably fine. Now, the one thing you do have to check is these are your springs, your compensator springs, and they sit in there like this. And there's a measurement for the stack. These do have the potential of wearing out over time. So you'd have to read your the manual and check what that measurement is. Now, the clutch measurement was like 3.62 millimeters. Then you need to replace it. These were at 3.78 for my clutch, stock clutch. Stock clutch was fine. I changed it just because I was in there at 50. The primary chain tensioner does have some grooves on it. You can see she's got grooves. I put a new one in there. So she was getting grooved up good at 50. Not like Yeah, right there, that's pretty groovy, but... And I haven't read what the, what it's supposed to be to change that out, but I changed it. Then, of course, I changed my brake rotors. They still had life on them. On your brake rotors, in the black part here, you will find your minimum thickness. On this, it's 5.2 millimeters, and it's written right here. I don't know if it's going to come out on my iPhone. My iPhone has a hard time getting in. Right there, minimum thickness 5.2 millimeters. So you'll get your gauges and measure this. But I put some cool wavy looking ones on just to be cool. Yeah, brah. Groovy. Did the spark plugs. I got the Screaming Eagle Pro Street Tuner and Auto Tuner, and you can see they look like they're running lean this time to me. A little bit gray. The spark plugs that ride on the exhaust side will get corroded because they're so deep in the heads. Water will get in there, whereas the other side it's not. I still had life on my brake pads all the way around. This was the second set of brake pads I had on my bike since I got it new. So I ran the originals, and then I got these, and I still had life left. So I'm not real heavy on the brakes. These are the wheel bearings. They did need to be changed. These are tight. No doubt about it. These dudes needed a changing. So I ran the stock bearings to 50. That can vary, so you should check them every time the wheels come off to get tires. But I ran these to 50, and they needed to be changed. Yeah. For sure. And I did the spark plug wires. Yeah, this one here is this one's the tightest out of the four. So it was time to do them. So that's just a little overview of some maintenance. I didn't do the fork oil myself because I don't have the tools, so I subbed that out. And the brake fluid too. You got to get it on the computer to open up all the solenoids for the ABS for when you change your brake fluid. So the brake fluid and the fork fluid, separate deal. But that's just a quick overview of this. A little Milwaukee 8 114 50K update. I don't think you guys got to worry about too much if your motors are stock. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button. And if you want to, you can hit the subscribe and get subscribed in there. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.